Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. Wow. Talk about fuckamaned. Yeah, you know I'm talking about Eskom, don't you? Well, the Eskom Pension and Provident Fund, CIO, says it is in a strong health and well governed. And Darby Mkhize says the fund can meet all its liabilities, but it cannot bail out Eskom. Now, this is in response to the suggestions that the government is going to start commanding pension funds to use their money to throw in behind state-owned enterprises like Eskom. He said the EPPF is regulated by the Pension Fund Act and all its decisions have to be in its members' interests. We are able to meet our liabilities, said Mkhize. We don't believe we will be called upon to be able to bail anyone out. We would continue to do what is good for our members and pensioners. Now, you'll see the video attached where he talks about all this. As it stands, Eskom's debt is 420 billion rand, and it is expected to balloon out to about 500 billion rand soon. That's 500 billion rand. That is just absolutely incredible. With an asset value of 147 billion rand, the EPPF has been at pains to explain it's a separate legal entity from Eskom. But should the embattled power utility come cap in hand to South Africa's largest private pension fund, would it be in a position to give Eskom a bailout? According to regulations, it can only be up to 5%, but those would be independent decisions taken in the interest of our members, said Mkhize. I don't want to give an indication that we would be increasing that. 60% of the EPPF's assets are managed locally, 2/3 of which by black asset managers. Now, BEE is everywhere. I have a suggestion for the Eskom Pension Fund. Why don't they just draw the money out of Fakamani's pension and the previous CEO's pension and give that to Eskom and just watch it go, and it's gone. I reckon that's a great idea. I don't know about you. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates and have a great evening. And here comes the video.
Pension and Provident Fund CIO says it's in strong health and well governed. Ndaba Mkhize says the fund can meet all its liabilities, but it cannot bail out Eskom. He says the EPPF is regulated by the Pension Fund Act and all its decisions have to be in its members' interest. Eskom is holding a Pension and Provident Fund transformation breakfast this morning.
The Eskom Pension and Provident Fund, known as the EPPF, is in strong financial health. It is well governed. We have assets in excess of our liabilities, known as the funding ratio, which is more than 113%. It's the strongest in South Africa and strongest in the world. So even though our assets are about 145 billion rands, or about $10 billion, our funding ratio is very strong and is very superlative compared to other pension funds. So we are able to meet all our liabilities, and we are not just looking at the high-level liabilities, but also looking at the contingency reserves that we would have set up. So at 113%, we are in very strong financial health and are well governed.
Well, the power utility itself is not in strong financial health. We heard debt is expected to be at around 500 billion. We do understand that the government has provisions so far, but it's not enough. If Eskom were to come and to the employers' pensions and say, give us this money, would you as the EPPF be able to give them, let's say, the 145 plus worth of assets?
We do have an investment with Eskom in Eskom bonds that are specifically guaranteed by government. So it's specific bonds. They are less than 1.4% of our assets, so less than 2 billion rands. And we last did that in 2015. We are not intending to increase that. In any case, we are regulated by the Pension Funds Act, which will set that limit at 5% of our assets, so that even if we wanted to, we could not be able to do so. And our view is that we should always do something that is good for our members. So we do not believe that we will be called upon to be able to bail anyone out. We will continue to do what is good for our members and our pensioners.
Just to get more clarity, if Eskom were to come cap in hand, you'd only be able to give them 5%, just to understand.
According to regulation, you can only be up to 5%, but those would be independent decisions taken in the interest of our members. And I do not want to give an indication that we would be increasing that. But what we've done in the past, as I said, we've only done the investments that are guaranteed by government. The notes themselves are guaranteed by governments, and we do not have any appetite to be increasing that.